back to a new episode of the weekly gaming news. I'm going to be going over top gaming news that's been happening in the gaming industry. There has been a lot going on in the past week, so I really want to kind of kick this one off. If you're new to the channel, this is something that I do here on the side on top of tips, reviews, and different types of previews. I do work full time, so I do like to give that kind of realistic perspective when it comes to video games. Drop a like if you like the content. Don't forget to subscribe and help us out. We're inching super close to that 500 subscriber count. Anything does help. So let's get started. In my last news segment, I did go over the Sony State of Play. They kicked that one off with kind of like their new gaming announcements. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna reiterate here. I thought it was kind of mid. They wasted a lot of time on Conquered, which looks kind of cool, kind of lame. Just not really sure how I feel about it. And something that these companies all kind of focus on is giving out all these CGI weird trailers, and I'm just really not a fan of it. Xbox actually came out with a banger of a showcase. I'll drop the video link as well. You can feel free to check out what I thought of that one. I think it's probably the best one that they've done in a while. And if you count kind of just what's happened here lately, I think it's the best one they've done out of all three big companies. Nintendo came out with a surprise kind of direct just to be the, last people here to do it, and immediately prefaced it with their Instagram post saying that do not expect a Switch 2 announcement. I mean, that sucks, but that tells us there is some life in the Switch and we're going to see nothing but games. And honestly, they really delivered here. I thought it was a pretty good showcase. I still think Xbox did better, but as a Nintendo fan, I got what I wanted here. And more reason to just play more games on the Switch. I love the Switch. I'm gonna be dropping a lot more videos on Nintendo games. So let's cover some of the games that they went over, and I'll kind of hit the highlights that I thought were best of the show. Off the bat, they started with a new Mario and Luigi game, which I've played on the DS. It is awesome. I do like the series. I like the turn-based combat that they do here. This one looks pretty great. It's got an interesting art style. And I'm excited to see kind of what the next chapter is here. They showed off gameplay right off the bat. Awesome plus there. They dropped kind of also like a Marvel versus Capcom collection. For someone like me that's played these games, it's just nostalgia bait. They're gonna get me here no matter what with it. It looks great. There is a little bit of a fiasco here. I think this one is skipping Xbox. Not sure why, but that was also something I wanted to mention. But it'll be coming out, I think, on the PlayStation, Switch, and possibly PC, if I remember correct. Speaking of kind of just like nostalgia, there was, if you ask me, a lot of remakes. And I've mentioned this before, our generation this time around has been nothing but remakes. It's kind of been crazy. There's some Dragon Quest remakes that are coming, a lot of JRPG things for fans. Someone like me, I've played some of these, not all of these. I do want to try out those Dragon Quest remakes only because that's something that I never got to play as a kid. I was there for brand new games, and they kind of delivered here, but not really. Going into more nostalgia bait, they are dropping a new Donkey Kong Country remaster of, I think, the remaster that was on the DS. I'm probably getting it. Donkey Kong Country was, I think, my first game I had on the Super Nintendo, and that's how long I've been gaming personally. Soundtrack's amazing, and I'm gonna play it regardless. I know I just bitched about remakes, but they freaking got me. A surprise drop was actually a new Zelda. It was something I did not expect at all, and on top of just not expecting a new Zelda, this one actually stars Zelda. This one is called The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. This time it's actually a legend for Zelda, interestingly, since you're always playing as Link. It did start out with a kind of like a CGI thing of just Link going into some weird black goo mist and Zelda has to save him. Honestly, I thought that was gonna be it. They went all in on this one. They showed just how the gameplay works, how she's able to copy things, use it to platform, use it to solve puzzles. It actually looks kind of interesting. You're able to copy some enemies. For someone like me who's a Zelda fan, it's a buy either way, and I'm pretty excited. I think this one's going to be very different, and it's a breath of fresh air this time around. And for the huge surprise drop, it's something that I honestly forgot was even coming. Metroid is finally getting a new game in the series. We've got the new Metroid Prime, and again, showed us a CGI trailer, whatever, and then just dove right into gameplay. Nintendo, I bet whoever works there hates CGI trailers because these guys don't show you anything unless they're ready to show the gameplay. The game looks great for it really being on the Switch, considering how old it is and just what it can and can't run. But I'm excited for this one. It's called Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Interesting title. Maybe this is going to be kind of like the Zelda that they do where they'll drop it on the Switch and maybe the Switch 2. I mean, the game looks good. I would not doubt if this one was going to be coming to the Switch 2 as well in some kind of HD or remastered type of way. I'm excited. I haven't played one of these since Prime 3 in like 10 years. I mean, it's crazy that it's been that long. So it was awesome to see this one and make sure it was real. I've also got some Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC news. And this one's a little interesting because I kind of didn't expect this to be a thing. The DLC came out, I mean, 3 days before when all the reviewers got the copies, you were getting nothing but 10 out of 10s, claiming that this could be Game of the Year. You know, this is possibly the first time a DLC gets kind of that Game of the Year mark. And I mean, I was hyped, right? I was just like, okay, this has got to be good. And after playing it, to give you guys kind of just like a quick perspective, it's almost like Elden Ring 2 at this point. It's more of what we love. But immediately, there has been just like some really, really negative reception when it comes to this DLC. Right now on Steam, it's sitting at mixed when it comes to the user reviews. And honestly, if you go through it, there are some valid points about PC performance. I'm on the Series X. I don't have anything crazy. There is some pop-in and some slowdown, stuff that was already on, you know, just original Elden Ring that hasn't really gotten that much better. But when it comes to PC, those claims are very valid. I've heard horror stories, and FromSoft is kind of known for this and kind of just ignoring it. It's honestly, they should be held accountable, and I totally understand that one. The weird reviews are the people that are bitching about how hard it is, and it almost throws me for a loop because when the game first came out, it was freaking hard. It really was. I tried reading these. I tried to take a look and just see what was going on. And, you know, some of the complaints about the bosses just spamming attacks or the animations, like somewhat valid, but I mean, the game's supposed to be hard. And if you look at what the creator said just like, think weeks before, they were trying to push the envelope on how hard this is. And I'll be honest, guys, I blame you guys. I blame you guys for going in shirtless, naked with a club and just beating up every boss in Elden Ring on New Game 7 Plus, not dying once. That is insane. And I'm betting the creator saw these on YouTube and said, oh yeah, I'm gonna get these motherfuckers. And honestly, the DLC is really, really hard, but it's hard for, I would say, good reasons. It's what the game is known for. This is something that, you know, they've come out and said, you know, if they make this one with different difficulty levels, that ruins the identity of the game. And I mean, I remember getting two-shot by those annoying ass goblins that had bleed in the caves with the surprise attacks. So I'm not sure where these complaints are all coming from. Bosses were destroying me. Radon was a nightmare. Even that Mog motherfucker, he was such a pain in my ass. I was rushing to beat him for the second time on New Game Plus because it was literally the night before the DLC came out and I was just busy and had no time to do it. Elden Ring's hard, guys. I don't know if people just expected to walk all over the DLC with their OP builds, but it was always going to be hard. And maybe the craziest part here is early on in the beginning, and I've even got a tip video that mentions this, you're gonna see a Scadutree fragment or whatever these things are called. If you pick them up, they tell you, hey, this gives you more damage, more resistance. And this is the way that they are balancing out the DLC to stop your level 250 character that's running around naked with fists. It's the only way. So if it's too hard, maybe you need to explore and collect those. And I mean, honestly, I think what we were doing earlier in Elden Ring, at least me, I'm not very good at these games, but I would leave caves or I would leave bosses and go level and go find things and make myself a little more overpowered so that I can get through it. And I mean, I thought that was the beauty of the game. Learn from your mistakes, learn the animations, level up, switch up your build, figure it out, fight through it, and make it on death 30, death 40. Who cares? And it feels amazing. It's an amazing achievement. If you ask me right now, that mixed score is honestly bullshit. If it's performance related, fine, valid, but anyone that's complaining about difficulty, I don't know if it's because the game got more mainstream or maybe I'm just too early. I haven't beat it yet, and once I do beat it, I will be giving out a review, but I just can't see this one as like a 6 or a 7. I don't. In some more major news, we've got Wukong that's not skipping Xbox yet, but I mean, it is going to be delayed. This gives me kind of Baldur's Gate 3 vibes, and it looks like they've had issues kind of getting this one running, probably on the Series S, if you ask me, which was also the issue with Baldur's Gate. Almost handing PlayStation a new awesome looking exclusive. This is one that I'm excited to play when this comes out. And, you know, it's just another L here for Xbox, unfortunately. They are working with Microsoft to kind of get this one sorted out, but it looks like, you know, you're gonna have to play this one on PC or PS5. And I mean, honestly, it's really unfortunate. I like the option of having more than one system, but Microsoft is requiring that whatever games come out have to be equal on both. And, you know, I haven't really looked into kind of why they're delaying it, but it just kind of gives me the same exact vibes. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that's the last I saw about that story. And for possibly the biggest story right now to hit just all of gaming, unless you live under a rock, you've probably heard of Dr. Disrespect. I mean, this guy is known for his persona. He's pretty funny, and you know, he plays all those battle royale games. He was playing Elden Ring lately. And I mean, he's got a huge audience, making a ton of money. He's even like involved in the creation of a studio and making his own game. And this guy has just been up and down, you know, throughout his career. Twitch has banned him a couple times, once for filming in a bathroom at TwitchCon, which is a little weird, and a second time where they kicked him off the platform for something very serious, clearly, but we never heard a thing about it. A Twitch employee comes out and immediately just leaks it and just says, hey, this guy was sexting a minor, and you know, we caught it through the Twitch whisper thing, and they had to take action, and that's why they kicked him off the program, or just Twitch in general. People went crazy. You know, some people immediately were just like, oh my God, this is true. Some people were just like, no, you know, we can't just believe this guy off rip. We have to kind of just like, there has to be an investigation of some sort. And I think just today, as of me recording this, his gaming company has dropped him and didn't want to work with him. And you can kind of tell that it was coming here. He lost his Turtle Beach sponsorship as well. It was kind of giving a little more credibility to that story. Also, I mean, if we go back, his response wasn't really that good. It was kind of just like a weird legal speak way of saying like, I can't really comment on this, but I didn't get convicted. The glove didn't fit. I don't know. I don't know where he was going with it. And today, whatever lawyers he's got just advised him to just come all out on Twitter. I mean, I'll put kind of like a screenshot of it here so you could see. But he basically came out and said that there was a minor, and then he edited it and removed the word minor, but Twitter shows you that someone edited it and what they did. So then he put it back. Just a mess here. But yeah, I mean, everything else that he said after that does not matter. If you ask me, I mean, there was a minor, he was messaging them inappropriately. He had no plans of meeting them at TwitchCon. Sure, but I mean, I think that's also where he cheated on his wife famously at TwitchCon, but yeah, no intention at all. I don't know. It's just like a huge thing about, you know, the internet trying to take him out and that he's not going anywhere. And I mean, right after that, you've got his friends that are kind of just like unfollowing or just, hey, we can't really talk to this guy. And it's some serious shit. You know, the pedo thing, I mean, it's weird, man. You've got people that are like trying to defend him. I don't know what's wrong with the world at this point. I think it's gross. I don't care how big your audience is. And, you know, at first, the story made sense. It really did. And him just coming out and confirming it, regardless of whatever the hell else he had to say, I'm sorry, bro, but the first thing you said was that there was a minor that you were messaging inappropriately. So there's no saving this one. I think the guy's cooked. He's done. His career's over. And I don't know. In this weird ass world, people are going to like cling to people and just be weirdly obsessed with these celebrity figures. It's freaking weird, man. It really is. So Twitch, I think, did the right thing. And, you know, I'll keep you guys posted on whatever else happens. I'm not sure what's going to happen legally. If that dude that leaked it is getting in trouble or if there's a whole legal case here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll keep you guys posted in these videos. I hate to end on that, but I mean, 2024, we're exposing Drake, right? Everyone kind of already knew. Dr. Disrespect, you know, don't ever catch me just rocking a mustache anymore. There's bad rep right now with mustaches. So hate to end on that note, but that wraps it up for what I've got for you guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. I am currently working on the Elden Ring review. Feel free to check that one out. I did drop a tip video for anyone that's playing it with just some basics for you to get started on, but that review will be coming soon as I beat it. Unfortunately, the internet keeps trying to spoil it for me, so I'm gonna try my ass off and beat it this week. Drop a comment, let me know if I missed anything, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.